This is the plaintiff, James DeLong. He says he brought his brand new clothes to the defendant's dry cleaners, and when he went to pick them up, they were missing. The defendant showed him a phony ticket, claiming someone else picked up his clothes, which is a lie, and he's not about to be bamboozled by the likes of the defendant. He's suing for $260, the cost of his new and now missing clothing. This is the defendant, Glenn. He says he's been in business for 24 years, and he can show solid proof this guy or someone else picked up his clothes with his tickets. He's never seen someone come in and take the wrong clothes in all his days in the business. This guy's trying to rip him off, and he thinks the judge will agree. He's accused of giving it to the wrong guy.
All parties, please use your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff brought brand new clothes to the defendant's dry cleaner and says they turned up missing, but the defendant says the clothes were picked up. It's the case of, I'm taking him to the cleaners.
Thank you, Douglas. James DeLong, you are suing Glenn's dry cleaning business. You don't want mention of your last name or the name of the business for $260. The amount you say that the clothes he lost cost, because according to you, they lost your clothes at the dry cleaner. Tell me about it.
4th of July weekend, JCPenney's had a going out of business sale. I patronized the store. I shopped. Everything was 80% off. I ended up buying 17 items. And I've been going to his dry cleaning for about 6, almost 7 years now. So the Penny's is only maybe a half a mile from the dry cleaner. So I said, instead of going all the way home, I was going to get them dry cleaned anyway. I'll drop the clothing off.
Do you dry clean everything that you buy before wearing it?
Yes, ma'am. It's just me.
Should I be doing that? I'm like, I'm kind. Does everybody else can? Do you do that?
No, but I may start. Are you going to start?
But now I'm all skeeved out. Like I should have been doing that my entire life, and I haven't. Now what? Okay,
well, you
go
learned
ahead.
something new today.
Yeah, I did. I did. All right, go ahead.
But anyway, after I dropped them off, I came back maybe a week later to pick up the clothing, and the attendant there at the time told me that they weren't back yet.
So you came back a few times, and then who finally tells you we can't find it?
Glenn did.
Okay. And do you have the tickets from the drop-off? Can I see?
Yes, ma'am. These are the 2 tickets that I was given once I dropped the clothes.
Did you drop off 3 batches or 2 batches?
No, ma'am, just 2. That's the point I was getting ready to make to you. He confronts me and tells me that you have 3 tickets. I say, no, I only have 2. So he let me see the ticket, and I said, this can't be right. If you look at the 2 tickets I have, the numbers run concurrently. He has a 3rd ticket where the number is like way out of whack. And I say, I don't have 3 tickets.
Had you taken something a week earlier or something?
No.
No. Okay, so let me hear from you.
Okay, on Saturday, July 1st, we have probably 60 tickets written on a given day. He came in the late morning, wrote the 19th ticket in his name, and then later in the early afternoon, the 38th and 39th ticket of the day in his name.
Unless, who was working that day?
It was one of my employees.
A new employee?
No, been there for about 6 months.
And you're saying that's absolutely false. You didn't go twice to the dry cleaners that day? Because it's unusual to go twice to the dry cleaners in one day, isn't it?
Not entirely. Some people drop something off and say, oh, I meant to get this, and they forgot.
Yeah, but not him. He was...
It might be unusual for him, but it's not unusual for a customer to come a couple times a day.
But we know from ticket number 2843 and 2842 that there were 9, 10, 11, 12 items dropped off, right? 12 items?
That's about right, ma'am.
One was for 7 and one was for 8, 15 items.
15 items, okay.
But I have where he came in earlier that day under the same...
Well, so say you. This is written by your employee.
Right.
Okay, and then, but what happens? Supposedly...
Okay, a week later on July 7th, he comes back, well, actually, according to my records, he came and picked all 3 of them up and paid $36
How do you...
for it.
Show me your records. And, okay, so that's... Somebody inputs that into the computer.
Yes, I input it. You can see from
Yeah, but you're not giving the clothes back. So you're relying on someone being correct when they say what ticket was claimed. If I go to your cleaners, if you give me his clothes by accident, you will, as an employee, write in there that ticket number 2842 got picked up.
That's correct.
Right. So this is not...
That just shows the order in which it came in. It showed that I have 3 tickets, which are the hard copies of what he's got. It's just I've got an extra one where he came in earlier in the day. I've got the
Right, but don't you make people give these?
I'd say 40% of my customers who come to claim their clothes forget to bring their claim check. And that's the case, we ask for their phone number, and then we can cross-reference the claim check and get their clothes for them. His clothes, the two orders he is asking about, were sitting on the same rack side by side. The third order was sitting in a different rack, in a actually different room, required someone to go to that different room. So it was not a mistake. Someone physically had to go to a different room to get all three orders together, and they were all paid for in cash, and I have the receipt where they were paid for. It is not common for someone to go pay for someone else's clothes.
Oh, it is very common. I've done it. Because I'm
someone
looking at my
else's
husband's suits, or I think I am, and there's someone else's suits, and I don't find out until he comes home and puts them on and says, what the heck is this? So it's happened to me, to your grave misfortune.
So when you buy new clothes, do you generally wash them or maybe dry clean them before you wear them for the first time?
We'll do a wash, yes.
You do?
Yeah.
Why?
Just to make them clean. There are people touching it in the store.
Who just puts them on?
It depends on I do. Yeah.
You don't care.
Yeah, I don't care.
You don't care because you want to wear it that bad.
Yeah, I don't care at all. I put it right on. It depends on if it's underwear.
Me too. Going inside the courtroom.
You were probably submitting your tickets and someone gave you the wrong clothes.
If it's not my husband, someone's submitting the tickets. And if it's my husband, I guarantee you he has no tickets in his hands. So how long has he been a customer of yours?
I haven't looked back in the records,
How
but
long have you been a
if he
customer?
says 6 or 7 years, I don't dispute
Yeah,
that.
like, because the other thing that oftentimes, because you're not my first rodeo, cleaners say is, well, this is a scam. This isn't a scam.
I never said
Not
it was.
with, no, I know you didn't. I know you didn't. But what I'm saying is a 6 or 7 year client likes you and wants to continue to be. This is not a scam.
He's been a very nice gentleman about the
Yeah.
whole thing.
I just wanted to say that his staffing has changed, and he's just implemented computers. And I patronized his business when I was trying to retrieve my clothes back after they were lost or stolen. And I watch the little curly haired guy with the glasses give a lady clothing. She walked out the door and bought the clothing back in and said, these are not my clothes.
Yeah.
I even mentioned that to Glenn.
Right.
And in his defense, he does good dry cleaning.
Okay.
He just lost my clothes. I have nothing against him.
Are they particularly convenient to where you live, or?
Yes.
Right.
And the prices are good.
Do you want to kind of keep using them? That's my question.
I think if you give me a couple free dry cleaning, I might.
Okay. So how about we try to work the case out? You did try to work the case out, didn't you?
Well, I've never been sued in the entire time I've been in business.
How long have you been in business?
I've been in business for maybe 24 years, where I've had to
That's a long time.
Physical location. I've never been sued before by anybody. I've always, yes, I have lost individual pieces of clothing. There's not a cleaners on the planet that hasn't.
No, of course not.
We all do. Giving away the wrong clothing sometimes is a matter of it piggybacks out on a larger order, but that's usually 1 or 2 pieces. When we're talking about 15 pieces, that's not a piggyback out. That was a deliberate.
Well, then explain to me how I got 15 pieces from my dry cleaners that weren't.
I don't know. You'd have to ask that dry cleaners. But
Well, I have, and there has to be.
all right, let's say that you did. Then someone didn't get their real cleaning, and they came right back demanding it.
They did, and my dry cleaners asked me to drive back and drop it off.
No
and
one
I said
came-
no. I said, come pick it up. You know?
Well, if someone had done that with his clothes, someone had gotten those.
Right. Well, somebody
then I
like
would've gone and gotten it.
somebody's enjoying his clothes.
They're looking good, Your Honor.
They're looking stylish. And they're 80% off JCPenney.
That's right. All designer, all name brand. I was
Good
happy.
for you. I don't know what happened in this case. I know that man lost his clothes. That I know, because I've seen the scams, and they don't work like this.
Yeah.
And the guy wants to keep using you. I can tell that's not the
Well,
case.
we did try to work it out.
So what did you try to work it out to?
Well, he came in one day with the receipt, and I said, I just said, this guy's going to take it further than anyone else has ever taken it with me before. So I said, my time is worth something. I said, I was going to offer him $100 worth of cleaning credit. I never got the figure out. He was willing to accept cleaning credit, but he wanted 100% of what he lost. And I said, man, I've got a paid receipt right here. And I just felt that
Right,
more
but
so
we've
than
already established that you're
more so than the money, I really wanted a professional judge's opinion on how this should play out. And I think he might have felt the same way about that time.
Okay, well, here's what's going to happen. all right, he's gonna win. How about, what say you to the notion that we have a happy resolution of $200 in dry cleaning credit? Is that something that you would be happy with?
Dry cleaning credit?
Yeah.
No, ma'am.
You don't want that. All right, well then I'm going to rule in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of $200. That's my judgment. Good luck, folks. I don't think you're gonna be able to dry clean there anymore though, because I wouldn't let you.
Well, the plaintiff is going to get his money back for the lost clothes. Mr. Glenn, what do you think happened to them? You say somebody else picked them up. I mean, wouldn't they have brought that many items
You
back?
would think so.
15?
You would think so. They'd get home and say, these aren't mine. They'd come back and they say, I want mine.
Exactly.
They said, apparently no, they were content with paying for it and trying to wear them.
And you've never been sued before.
Never been sued before.
You know,
I've never
you
seen
came
that
up.
happen before.
Well, look, I'm sorry this happened to you. I'm sure other dry cleaners experience this
We all
as
do.
well.
We all do. I wanted a judge's professional opinion. I got it, and I'm not disappointed.
So now you know what the judges will do.
I do.
Okay,
Mhm.
thank you very
Thank
much. Okay, Mr. DeLong is on his way out of the courtroom. You're going to get the $200 back.
Yes, sir.
Did you consider $200 in dry cleaning credit? Would you? You didn't seem to
No.
want that.
No, I don't think that was fair.
Yeah.
I spent money
Yeah.
for clothing, not for services. So I just would rather have my money back.
I think most people would agree with you on that. All right. So you're satisfied now?
Yes, I am.
And will you use him again? Or you think
Probably.
twice?
I'll talk to him and we'll see if we can work it out and be professional and still be neighborly.
Well, good enough.
Thank you.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Interesting case, Harvey. What do you think?
Okay, Doug, you know, this is really interesting. The defendant tried to settle this before coming to court. Settlement discussions are not admissible in court because you don't want to penalize somebody for trying to avoid litigation. So that's why judges say, look, go out there, try to settle it. And if you can't, even if you kind of have that talk back and forth, you can't use it against the person in court. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.